My life was normal, or at least it felt normal. I'm Charlotte, a 20-year-old living with my mom. My normal included a daily regimen of medication. When I was 5, my mom told me that I had some kind of illness that led me to take one small white pill every 6 p.m. and it would knock me out by 7. My mom was very strict about me taking my medicine on time. If I was even 1 minute late, she would get angry and make threats about the consequences and reminded me to be responsible. Mom was a doctor specializing in, she never really specified, but something with reconstructive surgery, she'd vaguely say every time. I always figured it was something glamorous like fixing cleft palates or repairing burn victims. Despite my curiosity, I never pushed her for any type of information more than that. I respected her privacy, knowing that her work was challenging and deeply personal. She had a few rules, one of them including never to go into the basement and another being to never miss a day of taking my meds. Our town was small and had a population that was very small, but our needs were met nonetheless. Shops and schools were 5 minutes away, but we'd have to get my medicine from another state due to the rarity, whatever that means, so we would just have to buy it in bulk. But our town wasn't really the safest place in Texas. We had to be careful due to the killings that had been happening ever since we moved here. They were inconsistent and random. Not until like a week ago. One random afternoon, I was sitting on the couch sorting my cereal by color on the coffee table when our cat Bingo stepped onto the power button on the TV remote. "What the?" I exclaimed, bumping my knee on the table as I watched the TV turn on. A disturbing pattern has emerged in recent weeks, leaving law enforcement baffled and the community on edge. Multiple homicides have occurred, all involving victims fitting the strikingly similar profile, 45-year-old men with brown hair. While authorities are hesitant to officially label this as a serial killing spree, the uncanny similarities between the cases are raising serious concerns. I raised my eyebrows at that. Last week, Mom talked about my father for the first time. He left when she was pregnant with me. She described him clearly, about 45 years old, with brown hair, hazel eyes, and a crooked smile. The description felt strangely familiar, but also very different. It was the first time that I had ever heard about him in my life. Shocking, isn't it? Weird, I muttered as I turned to look at Bingo. He meowed and went back to licking his butt in the corner of the living room. The door opened and I smiled as my mom, hanging her coat up and putting down her briefcase. Her head hung down low as she walked towards me. "Charlotte, listen to me," she muttered as her worried eyes looked at me and both her hands were placed on my shoulders. "Lock your doors at night and always take your medicine. From now on, I'm homeschooling you." "Yes, Mom." I nodded and put my hands up in defense. "Have you heard about the killings?" "I'm going to bed, Charlotte. I'm tired. Let me rest, and you should too," she declared, and then she was off to the room next to the basement. That's how it always was. I'd ask questions and then she would just avoid them. I was sick of it. I wanted to break her stupid rules for once. I went over to my room and pretended to close my door loudly so my mom would hear. I sat on my bed, waited a few minutes, and went over to the door and opened it. My unease deepened, driven by the growing dread. I discovered a hidden compartment in the hallway, revealing a complex code. It wasn't easy to find. It took a few minutes of searching. The code unlocked the basement door, its heavy wooden groaning open. I hesitated at the top of the creaky stairs, the musty smell of the damp earth and something else filling my nose. Slowly and surely, I made my way downstairs and made sure to find a light source. Then, I saw a desk. The basement contained a well-organized collection of horror. Files were filled with medical reports, police sketches, and news articles. Each document described a gruesome crime scene, with the recent victims matching my mother's description of my father. Others went back 15 years and matched the time that we arrived to Havenwood. Holy crap. Then I thought, maybe, just maybe, my mom was the killer. Stupid, I know, but ever since she told me about my dad last week, my suspicions were raised. And then it dawned on me, the fact that there were almost no killings in our town until we moved in. The recent killings of 45-year-old men. I had to get out of here. Panic seized me. I stumbled out of the basement, grabbed my phone, and fumbled for my keys to our car. I dialed 911, my voice trembling. This is Charlotte Smith. I think my mother is the serial killer. There's evidence in our basement. The dispatcher spoke very calmly and professionally, but I couldn't concentrate. I hung up feeling dizzy and my heart racing. I needed to get away. As I drove past unsuspecting cars, my headache got worse. The time on the dashboard glowed, ominously, 7:15 p.m. A wave of nausea washed over me. My whole body trembled, and my head twitched. As the time passed by, voices suddenly spoke in my ear. Kill Dad. As I drove for what felt like an eternity, I suddenly heard police sirens behind me. What the hell? My heart raced to my chest, pounding like a drum against the noise of the engine. The red and blue flashing lights in the rearview mirror, creating a chaotic scene of blurring the shapes of the grass speeding past. The police car swerved sharply in front of me. The tires screamed in protest, forcing my car to halt. A sudden stop sent my head snapping forward, the seatbelt digging into my chest. My body trembled, my muscles seizing, my mind consumed by the urge. My vision was starting to fade. Charlotte Smith, you are under arrest for serial murder and the possession of weapons. We have evidence placing you at every single crime scene, linking you to the crimes. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you. Do you understand your rights? They pulled me from the car, and the handcuffs felt so cold against my wrists. The detective's voice droned on, rating my rights in a way that made no sense. My mother arrived with a look of deep sadness and understanding. She tried to talk and explain, but her words got lost and the darkness overwhelmed me. The last thing I saw, before the darkness claimed me completely, was my mother's face, contorted in a silent scream of horror and recognition. Then, the darkness. And then, something else. A cold, sharp awareness. Utterly alien. Yet, undeniably, mine. Now I know this is going to be very short, and I apologize for that. I'm still not doing the best, and come to find out I'm also very sick again. So, if you liked what you heard, make sure to like, comment, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to get back to how everything was, and it's taking its toll, and I'll be back eventually, hopefully. But make sure to check out the links in the description as well, like Twitter, Instagram, everything like that, yada yada. And the Gmail as well if you want to submit a story. I don't know what the hell is going on, and hopefully I'll find out soon. But with that being said, stay safe, stay scary, and I'll see you in the next one.